Hey ladies, so since we are all stuck in a house, that's novella here, but since we are all stuck in a house, I figured I would have a conversation with you guys while letting you see how I prepare for bed. So I keep my rods under my sink, this container here. Novella's here now. Have edge control. Jojoba oil. She's handing me wig caps, which I don't need. Come on, mama, let's close it. Let's close it up, let's close it up. All right, so first, we'll need a comb or brush or something along those lines, but first, I go ahead and slick my edges down. On both sides. A lot of people like to use toothbrushes. I have one that I actually got from the hair store, but I use it for novella. I don't really use it for myself too much because I keep my hair straight, so I don't really have a huge problem. And I do not get a perm. I get silk presses. So and so at this point I go in, right, and anywhere I can I do the jojoba oil. So I have different types of jojoba oil. I also have like this where it's actually much easier to do it this way, but sometimes once your hair starts actually thickening back up, the actual this consistency of the jojoba oil is much better for me. And then I just start pulling my hair apart. Lift the camera up a bit. Yeah. So I just start pulling my hair apart and then adding the rods. I have different size rods. I use the smaller ones for the front and the larger ones, the medium sized ones for the back. Small, because I have short hair, but you can use these whenever I wear my wigs. I can use these here. Ooh, my eyes. So because I'm starting in the front, oh yeah, we can put this away too. Put the edge control away. Thank you, mama. I'll just brush it in a little bit. Make sure the jojoba oil is in there. And separate a piece here. This one I can actually probably use a larger one here, but since I already have the smaller one, I'll probably use a larger one. As you can see, I'm struggling just a little bit. And then, boom. The kid is in my shower right now. Don't ask me why. So anyhow, back to the conversation at hand. I just want to let you guys know why I believe it's so amazing to be a woman. Society consistently have different, little sneaky ways of telling us that, being a woman is awful. The things that we contribute to the world are frivolous, even though we produce human beings. Like, none of them would be here if it wasn't for us. And this goes for, super aggressive feminism And men, and society also tells us that men do things better, right? And granted, in some cases they do. Sports, right? I think in business, there has to be both male and female in order to be successful. I don't believe that men do business better or women do business better. I think it's absolutely one of those things where you need both parties. What else? Like in the movies, constantly telling us that men do things better. Like for example, movies about the Wild Wild West and how there's always like these cowboys and they're the ones who are you either got like the Clint Eastwood type. Clint Eastwood is an old actor who would do all of these cowboy movies, who will always be like the hero. But the fact of the matter is, first of all, there weren't any white cowboys. There were only black and Mexican cowboys. White cowboys was not a thing. And more importantly, the females were the ones who actually settled the West, right? Female prostitutes specifically, right? I probably shouldn't be telling y'all that because y'all teenagers, but it's the truth. The female prostitutes were the ones who were able to calm the West down and keep them from fighting and actually build it up. So now my small rod really for right here up in the front here. But the thing is too, even in sports or in the movies or the president, like politics, there is always a woman behind the man, right? Whether it be his wife, his daughter, his mother, his sister, right? Because there's a balance that needs to happen, right? Men need each other, women need each other. The masculine needs the feminine, feminine needs the masculine. One cannot survive without the other. So if we are constantly trying to be masculine, this girl is so noisy. So if we are constantly trying to be man-like or whatnot, what room does that actually leave for the feminine, And I think when, like, there's yin and yang. When we do not embrace our femininity as women, or the feminine in general, it has to come out one way or another, right? So as females, black women specifically, or black girls in your case, hold on. What's up, pumpkin? Take this one. She likes to play with the rods. So black girls, in your case, and this isn't anything that you guys started, this started generations before you. But if we are not conscious about living in our feminine, it's going to come out somewhere else, right? So if we are constantly trying to be like guys, then the guys will end up being like us, right? The universe has to correct itself. I hope you guys are following with that. But come on, leave a comment if this is on YouTube, or if this is in the Lady in Development course, or our group chat, then, shoot me a text and ask the question. Like, hey, what do you mean by that? Or if you know what I mean by that, just add to it. So, and let me know if you see that happening right now, right? If you see how men are tapping more into their feminine, right? Because the women are being a bit more masculine, right? Where does that leave me? What was I talking about? Every president has a first lady, right? Women, we have a strong amount of influence And that was the whole point. Like, we have a strong amount of influence. And I think the reason that we get a lot of pushback and there's a lot of hatred towards women is because of our level of influence. And men, some men, you know, there's beta men and there's alpha men. That's a whole conversation for another day with you guys. But some men cannot handle the level of influence that women have. So then they start to, you know, be abusive abusive, whether it's emotionally abusive or physically abusive. I'm putting a pink one in the back because my hair is really short back there, like it is in the front. See? So they start to become really abusive, and those aren't good men, right? So we have to stay away from those kind of men. But also, whoever at some point, whoever was our leader, decided that women weren't great, right? And even maybe it was even a woman who decided that women weren't great because she saw what it was like to be a man and she wanted to be a man, right? But we're not like that. We don't want to live in that. Hold on. She doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to stay. Stop, Mama. So with our influence, right, you have men who rule the world outwardly, right? So you see the men ruling the world, but what you don't see is the women who are actually ruling the men who are ruling the world. So what do I mean by that, right? So in many nations, specifically the ones that are really great, right? I have to redo this one because some of the hair is out. But the kings or prime ministers or pharaohs or whatever, emperors, they have really amazing wives, right? And those are usually nations where, you know, the people aren't going hungry. Everyone, you know, has adequate health care. The education system is thriving, right? And I think we're one of those nations. I mean, maybe not currently, but when our country really started to get up and going, we had Eleanor Roosevelt, who was a pretty great first lady. And she had feminine qualities, you know, much feminine qualities. She actually ruled our country. And so the problem with nations that do not have an adequate feminine presence have serious issues they're dealing with, you know, like global warming. Like, clearly that's a global thing, but it impacts those countries right now more so than it's impacting us. They have immense poverty, homelessness on massive scales. And you can even see that state by state here in America. So like, our job as feminine women is to bring the peace, right? To be nurturing, to be kind, to have emotional intelligence, right? So in other words, like, think about how things will impact someone else. You know, and not necessarily just operating out of this selfish, self-centered way. Not saying that men are selfish and self-centered, but they don't have the capacity normally to really think how things are going to impact others. It's usually the wife who comes and say, hey babe, well, you know, maybe we should think about the people. What else? We make things aesthetically pleasing, right? So we make sure things are beautiful. We are inclusive. We include others. We collaborate. You know, we offer lots of love. And all of that stuff is very important, right? So even for some of you out there who you're not getting the love that you desire, the attention or affection that you desire, you wish for it so much whenever you're fighting for it. You're fighting for it, right? Because as humans, we need things like shelter, water, food, love. That's it. That's all we really need to survive. Honestly, we don't even need shelter on a regular basis. We only need shelter when it's bad weather. But love is something that we need all the time. So putting these away. So I need to wash my face. So I'm working backwards. So I usually shower and I wash my face in the shower. But since I'm here, let me turn that off. But since I'm here chatting with you guys, I'm going to do it all here and now. So what I use to wash my face is this Fresh Soy cleanser, facial cleanser. It's a toner. You can, makeup remover. It does a lot of things. Let's see what it says on the back. It says for all skin types. It has a extra gentle gel cleanser that instantly whisk away every impurities in makeup, even mascara, without stripping the skin of essential moisture. The multitasking formula also works to tone, smooth, and soften the skin for a radiant, healthy looking complexion. So this works wonders for me. When I got pregnant with little Miss Novella here, who was walking around with my razor, I was using Neutrogena, which is filled with all types of toxins. So I went to Sephora and I asked them for something that wouldn't be harmful to my baby, and they gave me these fresh products. So it's this, and this is what they actually gave me, this is a moisturizer, a facial cream moisturizer. And I just kept building out from there. And I've been completely obsessed with skincare since, because if you guys saw my skin prior to, the switch and what it looks like now, you're like, wow, drastically different. So if you can, I would definitely suggest going to get these fresh products. They are, I don't want to say they're full organic, but they're more natural than other products are. And they have been heaven sent. I've even upgraded to nightly creams and lip scrubs. Anyhow, as I was saying, so what I do with this is I wash my face, right? First, I get it nice and wet. I'll adjust the camera a little bit. You guys wash your face at night? I hope you do. I hope you just don't just go to bed, because you have all of this dirt that's built up on your face from throughout the day. So then you just take a little bit, just a small amount. This might even be too much. This stuff really lasts forever. You get it all up in your face. Anyhow, so skincare is extremely important. It's more important than makeup and eyelashes and all of that stuff. Right? I probably should have taken my earrings and necklace off first. So then, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Hold on. I'll put a little bit more on here. Sorry guys, I'm doing this all in one take, so I have the scrubber here, but I only use it about twice a week, right? And it gets it in there real good. So I'm gonna show you guys my entire skincare routine. I don't do it every piece of it every day, right? I do it as needed usually. Well, not the entire thing, but what I do most frequently. So this right here is something that I do once or twice a week, right? And like I said again, I'm usually doing this in the shower, so. Now, clean your face. So as a kid, my mom used to pull like gook out of her eyeballs, right? And I used to think it was so cool watching her do it. So then I started to do it. Which I absolutely hate that I do it now, you know? Like you feel it growing inside your eyes. I'm not gonna do it in front of you. So anyhow, back to our conversation. As a woman, nothing is wrong with you. Nothing, I repeat, nothing is wrong with you. The next step is I use these Neutrogena Hydro Boost mask. So you open it up, you take the mask out, you dip the rest of the stuff there, you rub it together, you put it on your skin because you don't want to waste anything, right? So, boop, boop, boop. Hey, don't do that. She's over here playing with the toilet paper. Can you stop it? You're gonna get kicked out. Keep it up. Stop it. And so you put this on. It's a 2-part mask. It's really cold, by the way. In the summer, it feels amazing, but in the winter time, it's kind of annoying. You put it on, and then you have to keep it on for 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So I'm gonna put this on, and I'm gonna pause the video, and then I'll be back in 15 minutes. She likes when I do that with this mask on. It's pretty funny. See you guys in 15. 15 minutes has passed. You can see, you see how it's still wet and it's working itself. So I wait for it to dry, and then I add a serum. I like the Drunken Elephant hydration serum, because the issue with my skin is that I have really dry skin, especially in the wintertime. It has vitamin BV in it. Anyhow, I go to Sephora and I talk to them about it, and I have makeup friends who I ask them about skincare products. You can ask anyone and get some information. You know, just go in there. You don't necessarily even have to buy anything. Just go in Sephora and say, hey, what you think your issue with your skin is, right? You might not even know. You can ask them, hey, look at my skin. You tell me, do I have dry skin? Do I have oily skin? Do I have a combination? And what can I do about it? So while we're waiting for this to dry, we're going to get back into our conversation. So as I was saying right before the break, there is nothing wrong with you. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. If people don't get you, right? If they don't value what you bring to the table, that has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them and their lack of understanding, right? This kid. Their lack of understanding. Their value system is, let's call it what it is, jacked up. Really jacked up, right? And I want you guys to know that you should do things even where you are. You should do things where you are. Say hi. Hi. Say hi. Oh. Do things where you are, you know, wherever you are financially, to, you know, nurture your feminine energy, right? So if you have to go to the dollar store to get some lip gloss, then you do that, right? If you got to go to the dollar store, to maintain yourself, you do that. We are making all of the women like men because we're told to be embarrassed by our womanhood, and that's not fair. The feminine is fiery. It's not necessarily poodle skirts and cooking at home. It can be that, but that's not its entirety, right? You have goddesses who were feminine, Oshun, right? The West African goddess of water, like look her up, right? There's Aphrodite and Athena. Those are Grecian goddesses. Look them up. India, the Hindu culture has a ton of goddesses or whatever, but look them up. They all have different energies, and it's not staying at home, poodle skirts, and cooking while you wait for your man to come. Like I said, it can be that if that's what you want, but that's not necessarily what it entails. Serum 1, 2. I used to do 3, but I ran out of it so fast, and this stuff is not cheap. Get it in there. Get it in there good. So my next step, right, once the serum dries, is this Organs Drink Up Intensive Overnight Mask. It's also another moisturizing mask. And then after that, I do this overnight firming mask, right? But that's just because I'm in my 30s now and tighten up. And then I have my lip scrub. So let's keep going. We're gonna wait for this to dry. So again, to my point earlier about the feminine having a huge level of influence over everyone. It's really scary. It's really scary for men. Because if we use it for bad, then we have the capacity to destroy their entire life, and there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it. And if you think I am joking about any of this, go to one of your teachers, or counselors, cousins, uncles, and just give them a random compliment. Oh, you smell really good today. Oh, you look great today. I love your haircut. Just a random compliment, and see what happens. As the female, our sole purpose, reason for being alive is to create, right? To reproduce, right? And not necessarily just children, but yes, we reproduce children, little humans that grow up to be big humans. But we create meals, we create art. Anything that you give us, we multiply, right? So if a man gives us sperm, we give them a baby. If you give us ingredients, we'll give you a meal. If you give us, a flat iron, a hot comb, and some grease, we're gonna give you a fly ass hairstyle. Okay? So that's just the feminine, right? We're easy. It's never forced, right? Everything we do is just easy. And I think because of that, a lot of people who maybe didn't have the opportunity to tap into their feminine, or maybe even just have a little bit more masculine energy than feminine energy, tend to not like the feminine, right? And do their very best to eliminate it or make us feel like we're less than, So I do this too. This also helps with firming. It doesn't feel good, but it helps. I saw Tracy Ellis Ross do this, and so I've been doing it ever since. Now that we're dried up, a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. At one point, they tried to discontinue it, and I like went crazy. Like, wrote letters, wrote emails, went to the stores. Like, I need this stuff, and so it's back on the shelves now. This isn't as expensive as the other stuff. This is like $20 or something, but it lasts for a long time. I think I've had this tube for over a year now. And then I do the firming mask, which I try to let this dry in first and then do the firming mask. The whole point of this 30-minute long video is to tell you not to be insecure about what makes you female, right? Our periods is what contributes to, it's an entire cycle. We'll get into that later on, but in another video. But our period, literally, in the whole 28-day cycle that we have, is what contributes to us having babies, right? It releases toxins out of our bodies, and it helps us, right? It helps us live longer. It helps us with everything. It helps us tap into our emotions so that we can then be great for other people. But that's a conversation for another day. Do you know that every single person, human being, dates back to a woman, right? Not a man, one single female being, right? So trust me when I tell you that the things you love, other people love. The things they just oftentimes they're afraid to tell you, and it's easier to tease than it is to say, wow, that's pretty cool. And I know a lot of us are actually from, rougher environments where it's very difficult to be feminine or whatever. But trust me when I tell you, if you start tapping into that femininity more so, you'll be more protected than if you continue walking around being like trying to be like the guys or whatever and talking crap and doing all that type of stuff. It wasn't until I was in the 10th grade when I started to really tap into my femininity. I started wearing heels to school, and making sure my hair was done all the time, and my jewelry and all of that, and trying to behave in a different way. And at that point, people literally started to change the way that they treated me, and a lot of opportunities started to open up for me. So right now I am going to brush my teeth, which I floss. I floss with regular floss. I use a water flosser, and I use my electric toothbrush. And the reason for all of this is because I've had horrible teeth my entire life. I love to eat candy, so it kills me. So I have all of these steps to make sure that my teeth stays plaque free. I'll show you these things, but I'm not gonna do it on camera. So I use, like I said, the basic reach floss. This is my water flosser. I'll lift it up to the camera, right? So you turn it on. It's pretty cool. And then my toothbrush. I'm not gonna do any of that on camera. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be back. And I'm gonna shower too, and then I'll be back. So, teeth minty fresh, showered, pajamas on. I hope you guys do that too. I hope every night you put on some kind of something cute, and you're not just going to sleep in like some oversized t-shirt, unless you think that that's cute, or whatever you had on throughout the day. Be very intentional about how you show up in the world, right? How you show up for yourself, and little things like having this whole nightly routine literally helps with your confidence. So my lip scrub, knuckle, just a little bit, there we go. And what it does, it just, you get to scrub the dead skin off your lips. Done. And then you have to lotion your body. Do that, please, every night. I didn't do it for the longest of time, and I actually use body butter. I don't even use lotion because again, like I told you guys earlier, my skin is really, really dry. But so if you, another point I want to make is if you are, you know, a lesbian because you hate the idea of being a woman, or a girl, so to be more masculine like is to sleep with other girls or whatever, or have relationships like that with other females, that's wrong. So not loving yourself isn't going to help you in your relationships, right? Any relationship. Now, if you are a lesbian because you genuinely like other females in that way, then rock on, you know, but don't do it because you're trying to escape your own insecurities. Get this lotion in here good. I'm usually like, you know, leg up, doing my whole thing, but because I'm hooked up to the microphone, that's kind of difficult. Also, I use rose water on my face. I made my own, but this one isn't one that I made. I got this at Marshall's. It was like clearance for like $5 something. You just let it sit there and go. That is all I have. Please leave comments, like, subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course, follow the Instagram at AP Femininity. And one more thing that I did while you guys weren't on camera, I use cotton swabs. I clean my ears every night, so make sure you clean your ears every night too. Some people don't like cotton swabs, so. Oh, and you can use perfume at night too. I use the little cheap Victoria's Secret perfumes at night because I don't want to waste my Chanel. But again, like, subscribe. If you are in the Lady in Development group chat, please let me know what you guys think. I know this is a really long video, but I just want to bring home the concept that we are fabulous, we're amazing. If you think beauty isn't important, tell that to Mother Nature, you know, because she out here, you know, you disrespect her, she out here, you know, sending tornadoes your way. That is it, my ladies. Please like, subscribe, comment. Bye.